PhD can be a stopping point for someone pursuing an independent career as a scientific researcher, leading me to why some PhD holders end their training here and go into a full-time independent job. The end of a PhD globally signifies established expertise in a field that is sufficient for many independent roles. For people who are interested in industry, government, or nonprofit positions, PhD can be fully sufficient in terms of all the training you need to do that job. Some examples can look like industry research and development scientists who had development of new drugs, devices, biotech products, government policy roles, places like the National Institutes of Health, the FDA, the CDC, or policy institutes where scientific literacy ultimately informs and shapes regulations or funding priorities, nonprofit and other types of foundations who manage research programs, evaluate grants, conduct their own internal research. A lot of that you can do with a PhD. There are many transferable skills from a PhD that inform your ability to do those types of jobs or other leadership high-level jobs. Like we talked about, project management, scheduling and organizing extremely complex tasks, data-driven problem solving, advanced analytics, critical thinking, and decision-making that is rooted in evidence and established processes, communication and leadership skills. So key takeaway, the PhD alone is a robust credential of expertise and it enables autonomous work in many sectors outside of academia. So why on earth would someone get more training after a PhD if they already had to do that much? And by other training, I mean a postdoc. At this point in biomedical research, because the competition for a faculty position is so high, postdocs can be anywhere from 4 to 8 years, sometimes even longer. It used to be 1 to 2 years. It's just getting more and more inflated and frankly, more unappealing to many people who would like career mobility that matches their expertise level. There are a few reasons. Despite all of that, people might pursue a postdoc. They want further specialization for learning more advanced techniques or different techniques and expanding their toolkit beyond what they already became experts in their PhD. They might be wanting even more publications for whatever next job that makes them more competitive. It might be a strategic career move because some people still do a postdoc even if they don't intend to stay in academia because specialized training can open up higher level jobs. Mostly what I've seen is people are seeking the tenure track faculty path. So a strong postdoc experience is absolutely essential. You can't really get around that. You need to do a postdoc to go become a faculty member at a university where you're running your own lab. Key differences between a postdoc and a PhD, there is greater autonomy. This time, if you're thinking of an upward spiral, you're starting again on a new project in a new lab, but with the entire experience of having done a PhD and getting to that independence. So you're expected to drive and design your project with minimal management. You still do have a mentor. You're still working in somebody's lab, but from a different place of independence and autonomy. There's advanced grant writing and mentorship requirements where you are writing far more to get more money for not only your postdoc, but also potentially money to kick off your tenure track research career if that's ultimately what you want to do. Thinking about how long and how intense a PhD was, and after becoming an expert and getting your doctorate, doing that much more for training, if that does not illustrate to you how intensive training is in the biomedical research enterprise, I don't know what does. Frankly speaking, whoever is working in those capacities as a lead researcher, they are an expert in their field and they have been trained an intense amount, not just accomplishing things on paper in terms of work output, but everything I spent so much time in this episode describing in terms of skills, the ability to think and conduct research in the most rigorous, comprehensive, and ethical way.